So DJI has released this. This is their brand new Action camera. It's quite amazing. I think this is one of its best features because it becomes much lighter, which makes it so much more useful for FPV drone flights. Because previously there are two options for extremely smooth FPV shots: your full-sized GoPro and Real Steady Go, or GoPro naked with Real Steady Go. Yes, there is Insta360 small 4K camera, but let's be honest, it's not that good. The image quality is not that good, and the stabilization of it is also not that good, which is not the case of this camera. The Osmo Action 2 stabilizes the video almost as perfect as Real Steady Go. It's not quite as stable, but in some cases that might give you a more natural looking shot. All that you will be able to see in my comparisons. Let's get to the first spot. It's getting quite dark, but it's okay. Because today's test is not about, well, it's kind of about image quality as well, but more about the stability of the video. So we'll be flying the Beta FPV Power 30 drone with the brand new Osmo Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10. So we'll be comparing the stabilization methods of the Action 2 and the Hero 10. Let's fly. The ISO is on auto, and so first flight will be for Real Steady Go. Beta FPV Power 30 as usual, a really nice drone to fly. I really enjoy this Cineboop. Now we are doing kind of a smooth flying. Let's do maybe some quicker adjustments as well, so we can see how does Real Steady Go compare to the rock steady of the Osmo Action 2. I think the built-in stabilization will be way better for Osmo Action 2. Now a short little flight with Hypersmooth 4.0, let's see. So this is Hypersmooth 4.0. We'll start with smooth motions. Then we will do something more aggressive to see how does it handle the more aggressive moves. And then we'll get that Action 2. Okay, now it's time for some aggression. So, quick turning, quick adjustment, a little roll. It's not really meant for that, this drone, at least not with a GoPro. Alright, now I think it's time to put on the Osmo Action 2. Let's fly. Alright, my first flight with the Osmo Action 2. I already can say it's so much lighter. It feels way better than the GoPro. Well, because yeah, the GoPro is so much more heavier. Let's see how it handles this smooth type flying, and then we will also check out how does it handle more aggressive moves. But yeah, it feels like this drone is meant for this camera. It just feels way better. Okay, a roll, let's see how it handles that. And now let's just do a little bit more aggressive flying. With a bit more aggressive moves. A flip. The Osmo Action stability is insane. But the yesterday's image quality test was not really fair because the maximum ISO of the GoPro was way higher than the maximum ISO of the Osmo Action, which is why the GoPro's footage looked extremely grainy and basically like shit. This time we'll have a bit fairer test. We'll have both of them at the same frame rate, at the same ISO and same shutter. So shutter is 1/50th, frame rate will be 50 frames per second, and ISO is 1600. I can already see that the GoPro's light sensitivity is a bit better. It kind of sees better in dark than this one.
Welcome to Tango 2.
So nice when the controller welcomes you. Let's do it. Woo-wee. Welcome. That was the flight with the Osmo Action at the same everything. Now let's settings matched. So ISO maximum 1600 on the GoPro, but the ISO on this one will be, let's see, well, I would say that 3200 looks very similar. As well, the GoPro has the flat color profile, and the Cinelike is not really the flattest color profile. Plus, I have heard that the GoPro is doing some sort of a exposure magic. All right, now the Osmo Action has ISO 3200, which looks, I would say, kind of similar. It's still a bit darker, but I would say it's quite similar. So let's just see how does that look. I didn't feel ballsy enough to land it on the table this time. The way it controls with this lighter camera is so much more pleasant than the GoPro. The GoPro feels like a heavy-duty like bomber, but this one is like a jet. A very, very rough comparison. So now we have captured our footage with the Osmo Action. I like it. And the GoPro will be flown in 4x3, stabilized with Real Steady Go. ISO 1600, 50 frames per second. Same white balance, 5000 Kelvin, but it looks way different. Yeah, these images are so different. Heavy duty flight with the GoPro. Oh. It needs a lot more power to fly. All right. Let's do the turn. Let's come back up. And that's that. I already can say that, in my opinion, Osmo Action wins because you can save time with not stabilizing the footage in Real Steady Go, which actually sometimes can take quite a lot of time. The amount of light the camera gets, I would say the GoPro wins because Osmo Action 2 was way darker with the same settings as it is on the GoPro Hero 10. But you rarely use these type of cameras for this type of flying in very dark environments. Usually it's in well-lit places. I had few questions about this camera before we go and check the check. Oh, wow! I just got 33,000 subscribers. Do you see? 33,000! Oh my God! Thank you so much, everyone. This is crazy amount of people. Yeah, right. So the questions about the Osmo Action 2. It records in log. It records in D-Cinelike, which is not log. It's not the flattest profile, so I would say no, it does not. Maybe with an update they can bring it to the camera, as DJI usually does. They usually update the cameras and make them better. Can it be attached straight to the outside of a car and drive around without falling? Well, I don't have a car to test it, but I can attach it to a metal place and see how well does it hold there. Like, this is metal, right? Well, it's holding, well, I wouldn't trust it with aggressive driving, but if you need like a short shot of something captured like that, it might work. But there are like accessories for it that you can use, like that sticky mount. You can like stick it to a glass window, and I would think that would be a lot safer than doing this. But, well, it will hold, just don't be aggressive. Real Steady Go is still the smoothest way to stabilize the video, but you have to spend time rendering the videos through the app. But this does it all in camera, which saves a lot of time. And if I have to be honest, the 95% of people just won't see the difference between Real Steady Go and Action 2's rock steady built-in stabilization, which makes me extremely happy. And I really like this new stabilization of the Action 2. I really hope they will bring this to the new DJI FPV drone whenever that comes out. For many people, that would be the perfect FPV drone for capturing cinematic flights. I'm not talking about the freestyle flyers, because those usually build their own drones, and that's a whole different story. For people who just want to capture cinematic FPV type shots, the DJI FPV is a great drone. And this is where we go to our next segment, where I fly this thing with the DJI FPV. Yeah, as you can see, the Osmo Action 2 has no problem stabilizing also more aggressive flights with the bigger drone. A lot of people were talking about the overheating issue. For me, personally, I use these cameras almost only for FPV drones, which makes this issue a non-issue, because the air cools the camera itself, and that's it. It's just all good for me. There could have been more memory built into this camera. I don't think it's an issue because, well, you have the module here. You can transfer all the data to the SD card. It's not the fastest way how to transfer data. It will take around, it took me about 4 minutes of 7 gigabytes of footage to be transferred. I would say that's the only downside of this camera, in my opinion, is the memory here. It's 25 minutes of 4K 50 frames per second video, and 19 minutes of 4K 100 frames per second video. If you're flying FPV, you rarely fly more than 4 to 5 minutes of flight at a time. And well, you can transfer the data through the SD card. Full camera module of data would transfer, I would say, in 12 minutes. Well, so just chill for 12 minutes, let the upper module charge a bit, and replace your batteries for the drone, and you're good. You can continue on capturing. I don't think that's too much time. I think that's completely fine. And if you want to get the most out of your Osmo Action 2, I would recommend you to get the ND filters for it, because if the daylight is bright, to get that motion blur that makes the footage a lot more pleasant to watch, would require to have an ND filter. So yeah, if we compare these two, I would say that the GoPro does capture more light. It's more powerful in that kind of a way. As we saw in those shots inside, the GoPro's footage did look brighter and better than the Osmo Action 2. Hopefully you were able to learn something new. I sure did. I am extremely happy about this camera. The stabilization is insane, and the fact it's built in, it saves time. I don't have to run it through Real Steady Go. It's amazing. So thank you DJI for providing people with gear. If you want to get your own Osmo Action 2, get the link in the description. I did an unboxing video on my Instagram account, so if you want to follow my Instagram. And did you see that? Did you see this link appearing? It's done with templates that you can get from Motion RI. I did a video on that, so if you're interested in improving your YouTube videos, if you're a YouTuber, go check the video. The Motion RI provides you with a lot of very useful tools, and for the price, it's just it's a very good tool.